Okay, so we're about to dive into a story from 17th century Angola that is frankly almost unbelievable. It's this wild tale of absolute power, a complete reversal of gender roles, and a nightly ritual of life and death, all based on historical accounts from that time.
And this is the claim at the absolute heart of it all. This idea of a nightly, life-or-death spectacle commanded just for the pleasure of one incredibly powerful ruler.
So you've got to be asking, who was this person? To even begin to understand this bizarre ritual, we have to meet the powerful and, well, very unconventional leader at the center of it all.
All right, her name was Nzinga. She was a ruler back in 17th century Angola, and according to the accounts we have, she asserted her power in a really radical way, by completely flipping traditional gender roles on their head. It said she didn't just rule like a man, she ruled as a man, right down to her clothes.
And this distinction was absolutely crucial to her. We might naturally call her a queen, but she reportedly hated that title. She insisted on being known and addressed only as king. This wasn't just a name, it was a statement of her absolute authority.
But she didn't just stop with her title or her wardrobe. Oh no, her rejection of the norms went way deeper, into the very structure of her royal court, and it all centered on her infamous harem.
So just how big are we talking? Well, according to the source, Nzinga kept 80 young men in her personal court. 80!
And look, these guys weren't your typical servants or palace guards. No, they were described as her male wives. In this total inversion of a royal court, these 80 men were supposedly forced to wear dresses and basically live as the women of the palace.
And this is where the story takes a really dark turn. It all comes down to the alleged purpose of this harem, a gruesome nightly show designed purely for Nzinga's entertainment. The ritual itself was, honestly, chillingly simple. Every single night, two of her male wives would be picked out, seemingly at random. Then they were forced to fight, a brutal fight to the death, while Nzinga just watched the whole thing unfold.
Okay, so you have to wonder, right? What could possibly be the prize for surviving something that horrific? I mean, what kind of reward could possibly be worth that?
The prize for the man who won was the chance to spend one single night with Nzinga herself. That was it. That was the ultimate reward.
But here's the catch. That reward, it was very, very temporary. Because after that one night, the winner's fate was sealed. The next morning, he would also be executed.
Yeah, the source material puts it bluntly. No one ever slept with her twice. The cycle was just absolute and relentless. One man dies in combat, the winner dies the next day, and then the whole thing would just start all over again. Now, this brutal ritual supposedly went on for decades, but it didn't last forever. And in what might be the most surprising twist in this whole story, at the age of 75, Nzinga made one final, shocking decision.
So, after all those years of this brutal practice, at 75 years old, Nzinga suddenly just disbands the entire harem, and then, in a final twist you won't see coming, she marries its youngest member, a boy who was reportedly young enough to be her child.
So this leaves us with a pretty provocative question. Based on these accounts, how do we see Nzinga? Was she just a brutal, sadistic tyrant who enjoyed watching death? Or was she the ultimate power player, using these extreme, terrifying methods to project absolute authority in a world totally dominated by men? What do you think?